What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. So, for this week's Monday motivation tips, I just want to share some principles, core vision principles, since the crypto markets are heating up considerably. We got stuff like Polymarket heating up with their token, probably Kalshi 2. We got Kraken's Ink blockchain. We got Base, Abstract, Hyperliquid going crazy with the equities trading and their DeFi and sub platforms. What else? We got Mega ETH. Oh shit, Mega ETH TG in like the 3-4 days. So there's, I think for the first time in 6 months ish, there are now so many opportunities that people. Oh yeah, Princer too. Goddamn, Solana. Yeah, there's way too many goddamn opportunities. But yeah, yeah. For the first time in 6 months, there are so many opportunities. Now people are kind of spread thin. They're kind of unafraid. They've been beaten down the past 6 months, so they don't know what to do. So just want to share some conversion principles, which I think often helps more than straightforward ones. So let me scroll through my Twitter thread a bit. So first principle. So what does the majority of the crowd does? The majority of the crowd loses, right? So majority of the crowd, when bearish times happen, they become closed off. They stop experimenting. They stop showing up daily. So how do you win? You flip that. So stay open, right? Stay open-minded, then keep experimenting. If there's anything that seems somewhat interesting, even if you have that initial reaction, you're like, this doesn't make sense. You're like, just try it, right? Try it. Then for anything that kind of has some potential long-term ramifications, get a little exposure. Put in like $100, $50, not financial advice, of course. Then, because oftentimes the best asymmetric opportunities come from being super early, right? So when you're super early, that's when you get those 100x, 1000x opportunities where you, for some reason, are able to accumulate that blue chip by chance or like a secondary play, and then it cooks. So be early, keep experimenting, keep being open-minded. Ooh, drank too many liquids this morning. Okay, drank some lemon, full coconut water, some coffee, some tea. Yeah, that did not sit well. Might be burping through this video. Number two, most start becoming inconsistent and showing up daily, weekly, monthly crypto. What happens when you do that? You become out of touch with the market. You start becoming rusty. When the right plays pop up, people aren't able to execute it right because, yeah, they're just rusty. They're out of markets and they don't know how to ship business. They don't know how to communicate. They lose that core community, right? So what do? You flip that. So during bearish times, yeah, it does make sense to pull back a bit, right? So when things are more bullish, more euphoric, more volume, it makes more sense to spend even more time in crypto to make the most out of those plays. However, during bearish times, yeah, cut back a bit on those more in-depth trench, faster trade plays. However, first thing in the morning, first few hours, make sure the right high leverage, high impact things get done right. Work on your business, refine your superpowers, scale up with AI, automate things, network with other awesome builders, top traders, top investors, stuff like that. Those are super high leverage things. They get done straight in the morning. Then for the rest of the day, you can experiment with the airdrop stuff, experiment with new apps, do lower impact stuff that's, and maybe take a break from crypto, stuff like that later half the day, stuff like that, right? So keep doing the high impact stuff, keep doing the higher party stuff, no matter what, and you'll be cooking. Number three, most people are too scared to ape in with size, even if it's the right play, right? So when there's a clear PVE runner, that means that big investors are in it, bigger whales, bigger institutions, bigger governments, bigger traders, bigger guilds, bigger KOLs, they're all in it. There's a clear PVE runner, right? Then that's the time to ape in with size. However, most people, they are reluctant, right? So they're like, oh, I'll just ape in a little bit. However, that could have been the play of the next year or 6 to 12 months, right? So when there's a clear PVE runner, ape in with size, conviction, that's how the best trades are made. I think a lot of times people are able to, if you're in touch with the markets, you're consistent daily, you're able to recognize these PV opportunities, but not many people ape in with conviction with size. So when you recognize something that's clearly cooking, ape in with size, you can be good. And then number four, so we kind of have the opposite end, right? Before, the other ones I was talking about, it was more like the risk averse people. People don't want to, be as degenerate. However, now we're going to talk about the degenerates. So number four, most degenerates, degens, high stakes, high gamble people, they are forced out of the crypto game because they ran out of gunpowder too quickly. So they ran out of funds, they get over liquidated, they over leverage, stuff like that. So what do? Flip that. So with the other tips, right, you act with conviction, you act with size, you keep showing up, keeping consistently. However, you also have your own safety security net, right? So you have like a stable coin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hyperliquid, Solana. I think those are 5 new blue chips. So maybe you have like a port of that, and then you also have something else where you can just ape in with size, ape in with conviction for any new promising ones. But for the majority of your stack, it just makes more sense to accumulate the top of the top assets, and that'll be the majority of your gains as things become more bullish over the next few years. So have that stablecoin stack, or the stablecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Hyperliquid stack, where you're able to be safe and keep cooking. You own the infrastructure, so you own the casino. You don't really own the games and stuff, because everything that the casino cooks up, everything that the other apps cook up, it accrues value back to those 5 assets, right? So own the infrastructure of the bear market and the bull market in the future, and you'll be good. So yeah, don't go all in on the super degen coins. Have that majority report, right? Focus on the other blue chips. And finally, I think this is just a life lesson in general, right? So the majority of people become pessimistic when, things don't go well. Their vision doesn't align, maybe doesn't make sense. Short term, they become super pessimistic. However, flip side of that, optimism wins long term always, right? So whenever you have something that makes sense long term, or even doesn't make sense but aligns with your core beliefs long term, always have optimism, act with full conviction, with full belief in it for the longer term period. That's how people usually win, right? So even if it doesn't necessarily pan out to the same specific details you imagine short term, medium term, long term, it always, if you act with your values, something you fully believe in, it will pan out in some kind of way that probably not gonna be in the way you imagine, but it will pan out with something that aligns with your beliefs, right? So optimism always wins long term. Pessimism may win short term, medium term. But I'd rather pick and do something that will win long term always. So yeah, I think that's about it. Let me scroll through that, right? So keep experimenting, keep you open with new trends, keep showing up consistently lately, act with conviction when there's something that's clearly cooking. Make sure you have a stable port as the main priority in the bear market, and finally keep being optimistic over pessimistic. So hope that helps, and chat with y'all soon.